Morning. Hello. Can you hear me? Very warm welcome to DrupalCon Vienna. It's been amazing. So this is first time in this continent I am here as a speaker as well as in the attending DrupalCon. I am Rakesh James. My co-speaker is Vicky, and she is the official maintainer of migration module in Drupal 8. As well as I have a Maxi with us. Maxi, can you stand? Maxi is one of the migration contributor. Yeah, always we have, and just also with us, release manager. So it's what we're gonna do with these sessions. Just want to introduce you guys how to migrate to Drupal 8. I would love to know how many all of you working with Drupal 8 now, started working with the Drupal 8? Okay, cool, it's good numbers. I mean, like, yeah, previously done, it's very less numbers. Yeah, it's, want to say, if you are still working with the Drupal 7, it's easy. You can directly, when you want to do it with the Drupal 8, you can directly go and start migrating it. You don't need to worry about anything. Only you need to take a couple of clicks, then it will migrate. I will show you how to do that. Sorry. Okay. So these are the contents we are going to talk about it. First is migration modules are in Drupal 8 core, then D7 to D8 migration, migrating from CSV data, JSON or CSV data, comma-separated values. If you get a data in comma-separated values, how to do migration, and source plugins and process plugins, and how to use migration modules through Drush modules. Would like to know how many of you guys migrated 6 to 7? How you guys migrated? Anyone, please? Feeds module? Yes, I mean, so we're looking forward to how the feeds module Drupal 8 anyway. Again, anyone else used a migration class? Yes, again, there is another way of importing node import, as well as node import modules are there, then you can easily migrate it. Yeah, but for now, you don't need any more modules, actually, technically speaking. If you know a little bit about developing, you can directly go and use the CSV data to migrate. Yeah, let's check out what are the core modules, what are the contributor modules involved with migration process. Migrate module and Migrate Drupal UI. That is a core module originally ships with Drupal 8.x. So you don't need to download any of these modules. And you can download the modules who will be maybe added in future. Not sure about it. Yeah, but can be Migrate Plus and Migrate Tools and Migrate Upgrade as well as Migrate Source CSV. I'm just going to say how to process the CSV data to migrations. Till now, any questions? I would like to have an interacting session because of it's sort of difficult session. I'm taking this is the third time. It's all when lot of problems, and like I was in Baltimore, it's when we try to do it in a workshop. That is also, whatever you are not understanding, just raise the hands, we stop and we discuss, then we'll go forward. So these are the modules available, and you can download those contributor modules through Drush or console, anything. Yeah, so when you want to do a D7 to D8 migration, what do you need to take care of it? Obviously, you need to have the instance D8 installed in your system, and you need to have this Migrate Drupal UI module installed. Then you need to run the Migrate Upgrade module as well. The 4 modules, you can start using it. Then you will go to the configuration for the migrate upgradation, you'll get this kind of page. It's very straightforward. You can see what are the database you are using it, what are the database you're going to use it, and if it is where it is getting hosted, and what is a database name. It's very straightforward. This is, you'll get the UI part in D8, this UI. Then click, it's update. That's all you need to do it, D7 to D8. But still, there is a lot of critical issues around, 12 critical issues, as Trice mentioned in Trice Note. We welcome you all to come and work with the Migrate issue queues. Any help, Maxi or Vicky or me or Adam or just any, come to the code sprint room, ask any of us, like we can help you. If that 12 issues more than 12, I think if we spend for another 6 months in a very brute force, I think it will be easy for any one of you or me, can simple clicks can be migrate from 7 to 8. And one more thing we want to add it. This should be the last most upgrade you are doing it manually. That's what Drice says in the notes. So if you do 7 to 8 migration, when your 9 comes, Drupal 9 comes, you don't need to do anything. Hope you all see that slides Drice has presented in Baltimore. There will be, have you ever find it deprecated in your coding, Drupal 8 coding? It's called deprecated. How many of you heard that? Deprecated system, it still supports, and it will be removed in future, but it will support with the current system. Okay, I'm not changing the topic. So D7 to D8 migration is just like this, and yeah. Yeah.
So there are some changes on this form as well, where at the top, which you can't see, you have to choose Drupal 6 or 7 as your source. That's quite simple. It's just a little click. And also for the source files, you can set, it now accepts both your public and your private files. That's all.
Yeah. Adding one more thing. You can be here. No. Yeah. Adding one more thing. The same way you can do the 8 migration, 6 to 8 migration also. There is not much difference. How many of you guys are still working with the Drupal 6? It's okay. I think it's it's not a big problem. I started with the Drupal 6, and I saw all those changes of entity. Then when I come D7, I need to study this. Then I came D8. Oh, I need to study a lot of things. It's okay. It's totally okay. You can, in fact, you don't need to know object-oriented program if you want to build a site now. So I would say if you want to build a multilingual site, it's far easier than D6 and D7. You don't need to do anything else. Like you don't need to do install a multilingual sites or multilingual modules or download any of this. D8 is very easy. I want to say that. Same way, you can do the D6 to D8 migration, same screen. You need to do what are the versions, like database as well as the where is getting hosted, all the stuff getting updated, then you need to do it. So moving forward, we're going to find out how to migrate other legacy systems. Anybody who works on, I personally worked on ColdFusion, migrated ColdFusion website to Drupal 8 2 times. And one is a normal website. Other one is Drupal 8 Commerce. I migrated to Drupal 8 Commerce, actually. How many of you guys familiar with this? That first block is CSV file. Yeah, you want to have a question? Yeah, please. Asking questions? No, okay, no problem. Yeah, the first one is block is CSV files, comma separated values. First one is IDs, the 1, 2, 3. The second column is titles, and third column is the body. So in these slides, we have a second block is the .yml file. Excuse me, .yml files. We have a three plugins involved. Technically it's three process when you have a migration. You need to have a source where the data is placed, and you need to have a processor, and so you process the data for your purpose in D8, like how it has to be placed. Then there is a destination. So three way. First is source, then process, and destination. You can see that source, process, and destination. So in the source, you are saying which is the CSV file you're gonna migrate it, from where is the data is placed, where is your CSV files are placed. Yeah, you can give an absolute path as well as the relative path. And the second one is process. Process, you do all the mapping. Remember, you guys use the feeds module and do the field mapping? Node import module, we do the field mapping also, right? The same way, we can map the fields, what are the things. Title is what is the CSV columns as well as the body. And we can create what is a type. There is again, process plugin. I will come to that. And then destination. Destination, I say, I am going to create a node. I'm going to create article. So from this CSV file, I'm going to create node. That's what these slides, like this process do. Any questions till now? Okay.
I'd like to add a tidbit there in that it can be tempting when you're writing a process plugin to do more than processing, like you want to do something in the destination. And in fact, in one of the contrib modules, there is a thing to generate an entity in during the process. But that has lots of bad things around it. And we're dealing with simple things here. So I won't go into all that. I just want to point out that if you're getting into writing these things, remember this process is just about changing the data you've provided it into something else. Nothing more. Okay? And then your destinations tend to be quite simple. Like as you can see, that's the destination for entity node. That's it. The rest of it is handled by the core migrate. If you look in core, there are very few destinations in the other modules, and they're all quite simple. So if you find you're making a destination plugin that's complex, stop and think about it and seek some support. Come to meet us in Drupal Migrate.
So process, all these are plugins. The 3 steps I told you. So, it's getting so much light. Sorry. Source, process, and destination. 3 of them are plugins. So what is the basic idea of plugins? All of you guys know. You can plug and play. How many of you are familiar with plugins? Okay, so let me tell you this example. So you have a fan. You have a lot of plugs around this room. You can plug anywhere, and it will work what is according to work. Correct. It plugs to where it has to be. It has to become for the electric, and you can plug it wherever you want, and it play according to that. So plugins is like that. You can extend. You can create your own fan and plug it anywhere also. Still, it rotates. The fan still works. Or that's why the plugins work. So 3 of them are the plugins. We're going to explain you what is a source plugin and what is a process plugin. I will show you in a developer perspective with an online demo. We'll show you how to do that also. So this is the easiest way to migrate from any kind of, you getting any kind of WordPress or anything, any data, get that data into the comma-separated values, and just write this YML file, then you can import into the Drupal 8 very easily. Yeah, this is a source plugin. You can see the right hand of this slide. That is a XML files. And the left side is the source plugin we written for how to read these XML files. The left side is a YML file for this reading this XML file. It's pretty straightforward. It's already, you don't need to write any of this code, okay? It's already there. It's already there in Drupal 8. I just want to explain you. So there it's a source plugin is written and says, where is the path? The source, the plugin says it's a URL. From the URL, we're going to pass it and say URL is, this is the URL. And the data fetcher, we say, is HTTP. And data parser, we say XML. It's straightforward. And say item selector /node/nodes. Then we say what are the things we need to map it. We say the fields come name, label, selector. It's be page title and body. So this is source plugin. If you have a custom table, suppose like you have a set of data in a MySQL table, and how you can easily write a source plugin for that, or you have a different way of data is processed, you can write a source plugin for that and get it migrated. Or you can give online streaming data, and you can migrate to the system. You don't need to worry about it. All these codes are available. There is a lot of examples available in the core itself, Migrate examples. You can look at that code, and you'll easy to find out how to do it. So this is a source plugin. Source plugin, when it's getting created, XML is already there, and JSON already there, and CSV already there in Drupal ecosystem. If any data present in any other way, if you feel like, okay, I need to have it in a source plugin, so just write it off. And one more thing, if you have any piece of data that can be converted in the CSV, that is very easy way of migrating the data from other system to your local system. We're gonna talk about next, process plugins. Yeah, a process plugin is basically we are using for, we use feeds module, right? All of you guys, I think, used feeds module. Suppose you get data, you need to migrate an address. So address comes generally like street numbers and address line 2 is comma separated just like that in a single row. But when you going to the system, it has to be placed in a proper way. Or let's say you have a user migration, you are doing it. You have a first name and last name, but you have a field called full name. So it will attach first name and last name together, right? That is what the process plugin we written here. So if you think about the Drupal 7 side, you use the tampering for feeds module for particular field, how it should behave it, how it should read the data from the source file, and how it should get imported in Drupal. So those part, you processing it here. So you can see this. This is the class you written, process plugin class. In the right side is written, it's a process plugin class. In the left side, it is the YML file you're gonna migrate from the .yml through the configurations. I will show you how to do that. Yeah, let me explain this process class. And you can see that in the process class, it's say full name and class name, and you have the annotations for what should be the IDs, migration process ID. Then you get a function called transform. Transform is the method that will allow you to tamper the fields. You can make your own fields, how should be appear it. Suppose you want to split the fields, split the data. You're getting a raw data straight 1, 2, 3 together. You can split it with a comma separated, explode it or implode it. That's what we're doing it. Here we're gonna get the first name and last name. You can see that, and we're returning it together as a single field. So in the left side, you can see in the field full name. Are you able to see the field full name? A field full name, you say the plugin name is called full name, and source is the unique ID, what is generally passing it. That has to be present. Don't matter about source. You can check out the full name. That full name will call this class, migration process class, and say, check for the first name and last name, and concatenate together and return back. That's what process plugin does. Any questions still now? Okay.
Do you want to talk about all those? That there's a lot of process plugins.
Yeah.
So the bit there about the process plugin and the example provided of the full name process plugin. In core, there's a whole bunch of existing process plugins. So if you look in the core Migrate module, you'll see a bunch. And there's simple things in there like concat, just to concat two fields. There's extract to pull something out of an array, comes to mind. And then there's some more tricky ones, like, oh, it changed its name, hang on. Migration lookup. So more advanced, won't go there. I'm just saying there's more advanced ones in there as well, and it's worth a read of the APIs to find out the ones that you need. So look there first before you go off writing ones. Rakesh?
So I will show you how the process plugin works also. Yeah. Next one is, what is the Drush modules help us to do it? So we need to find out how it gets run. So when you're installing Drush modules, then Migrate tools you need to install. Once you install Migrate tools modules, that will allow you to give these Drush commands. The first Drush commands give you option to check the status of the migration files. Then you can see the import. Then you can roll back that one if you are not happy with that. Then you can stop it. Then you can reset it. And you can find out the migration messages, what is the message happen, if there is an error happens, or those stuff. This is the basic commands you need to understand when you're doing the migrations. Yeah. Okay. Let's do any questions till now before demoing it? Yeah, please. Can you please repeat the question?
Do you have like a roadmap, an overview map of the migration process, Drupal 6, 7 to Drupal 8?
So you want to migrate from 6 to 8?
No,
7 to 8? Okay. That still works, actually. Okay, I will show this. This has to be hands-on, but I didn't get the time. So this is already working. Let me show this. So this is your D7 site. This is your D8 site. Yeah, you need to go this path, /upgrade. Then I told you this UA getting it, 7 to 8? Yeah. So you give the database name, and you give the host, if it is a local host. If you can do it in online also you can do. When you click on upgrade, you will get what are the things you need to get upgraded. Okay. So just click on upgrade. You'll see this bar. This is happening in Drupal 8 site. 10 minutes later. It takes some time, okay? Trust me, it takes some time. So all the contents from that site is migrated here. This is a 7 to 8 migration you need to do it. Yeah.
Follow-up question. You have custom modules in 7.
Can you please come to the mic so that everyone can hear you? So it will help to others also. Yeah, no problem. Anyone has questions, please come forward. We'll do the process plugin migration demo also. Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Marco. I'm from the Dialogschmiede here in Vienna. And
Okay.
my question is, so basically when I'm migrating custom modules from my functionalities that I need from Drupal 7 to Drupal 8,
Yeah.
I'm basically needing the slides you showed before with the status messages and all these basic status things. Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for asking the question, Marco. It's a good question. All of you asked this. Even when I started, I also asked it. Would like to say all of the contributed modules we are trying to getting into the migration upgraded. And custom modules, you need to do the upgrade one by yourself. The content actually we're getting migrated through the migration process. After that, if you want a very particular functionality, better do upgrade a module upgradation module that will give you the overview what all the things you need to change as hooks, or if it is hook underscore menu, that is converted into the menu.links.yml file. So if you have a very particular process, better those custom areas you can develop by yourself. And majorly migration we meant for the data migration first, and custom module migration you need to module you need to upgrade first, then you need to work on those specific functionalities. Even that is the only part you need to do it. But rest of the everything content as possible, even the translation also we're trying to get it. If you do it very manually, it will take 3 or 4 months to do it. But if you do it in this way, how much time you needed? Maybe 1 hour, 3 hours? Thank you. Yeah, you need to add? Yeah.
Just to clarify the policy on what we migrate in core, anything that's in core we'll migrate, but if it's a contributed module, like paragraphs, it's the responsibility of the paragraph maintainers to write the migration for that.
Just a quick question on
Please.
Multilingual content. Is it possible using the current multilingual content? Is it possible using the current migration tools to migrate multilingual content?
Which version? Yeah,
It's a very good. Maxime is probably the best one for this, but it's mostly.
Yeah. Maxi can come and answer for that question. Come. Yeah, come please.
My first thing that comes to mind is to read the known issues page about Migrate. There's a known issues pages. But a lot of the translations are done. But I don't know the nuances of it. That's why I'm pausing.
Please, come here. No, just answer that question.
Just answer the question.
The nodes from Drupal 6 to Drupal and Drupal 7 to Drupal 8 are migrated. There's still some work to be done, like with menu items, blocks, and other things. But it's hard to find people to work on them because you have to to know the multilanguage system and the migrate system. So it's kind of tricky issues. But we're working on that.
And I will gladly say that I'm sadly monolingual, so I've had to learn Drupal 6 and 7 translation stuff enough to write patches. So please come join us. If I can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
Question?
Yeah.
When you migrate, does it migrate all the tables, including the content types? And so when you want to start working with the new Drupal 8, you can start adding content to the same content types?
So I think can you please repeat the question once again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you migrate from 7 to 8 using the migrate, does it migrate also the content types?
It's content types and the fields too.
And the fields too.
Whatever the fields you have is automatically get created here too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So then you can just start adding new content without a problem.
So it's just run this, click, click, click. It's everything translated there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, please go.
Hi. In your example, it's pretty simple content structures.
Yeah.
But what if I have like a more complex architecture with node references and categories, taxonomy tags? Is it possible right now in the state of the current API to handle all these relationships? Thank you.
Yeah, entity reference we having it. You have a taxonomies. You can have it. If you have a lot of level of taxonomies, you need to do a process plugin. If you have a lot of taxonomies and a lot of very high level architecture.
So you would have to program like a plugin, a specific
plugin space. I will gonna
with
show you that.
Processing and all that. But it's possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just another quick question. You said like it can take some time.
Yeah.
What would be an estimate for like 4,000 nodes, for example?
4,000. It's a lot of things in factor actually. So if you run it in a 8 GB RAM system or 16 GB, 32 GB RAM system, that is also factor. So
I don't know.
If you have a heavy system, a good system, and also we cannot have that exact times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a range, like
but
half an hour
you need
to 2
you
hours.
need to give your time. Yeah, you need to give little time. It will do.
A little time.
It won't work. It won't break. I'm sure that it will, because I've done that. It won't break, but you need to be little patient. Come on, you can be patient because it's not asking you to do a couple of months patience, maybe a couple of hours. That's okay.
Okay, thanks.
Also, with those Drush commands, you can tell it just to do a couple. There's some fields you can set. So.
Yeah, please.
Yes. I have a question.
Yeah.
Could you give us a workflow to migrate from a multilang site in Drupal 6, but this site is not updated, so it's not using the last version of Drupal 6, and it has also custom models. So
cool. So you
thank you.
Okay. You want to upgrade. This is what I understand. I'm sorry, I'm making it correct. You have a Drupal 6 site. It's a multilingual.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So you want to update it to the Drupal 8. Correct? Is that you want?
7 or 8? Yes.
Yes. No. Don't do it with anything. You don't need to with 6 to 7. Directly go and do it with the 6 to 8.
Oh. So
D6 to D8. No D6 to D7. D6 to D8. And if you're doing it that is very correctly, that will be last very high level update you're doing it. So after that, you need to create your own modules, check the deprecated ones has to be removed, and you keep doing it. It will be Drupal 9. When Drupal 9 comes, your site is also automatically updated and upgraded. So what I'm telling, 6 to 8, not 6 to 7. Yeah, and coming back to your question. 11:45. 20 minutes we have. Okay. 6 to 8 migration with the multilingual. Actually, we are not very much capable, but still we are capable. Yeah, some of the things, if it is not, you want it in a very direct way of this one, maybe a little bit breaks, you will get it. But all the nodes, it will migrated the couple of taxonomy or entity reference. We are working on the same plugins. So 6 to 8 migrations, translations. Excuse me. The translation, it has to be work. Little more issues are there. We are working on it. Always welcome. Anyone want to speed up the stuff? Come on issue queues and just ask, because migration issue queues are one of the good initiative and be very proactive. Come on, ask questions or what you are doing it. Anyone, you can find any one of us, or you can find Lucas or Adam or Maxi, quite one, or anyone. Like find out. They will be answering your questions as well as.
So just a second. In regards to the roadmap, if you have the old D6 site, you really do need to upgrade it to the latest, because obviously we can't support every version of D6 and all the modules. So start with that lovely task and then move on. The D6 translation migrations are further along than the D7 ones. So the migration of translations in D6 is further along than the translation migrations in D7. So you're better off in a way.
Hi, I've got a real quick question.
Yeah, please.
On one of your first slides, you showed the migration form, and you could select MySQL, MariaDB, or equivalent.
Yeah.
Is Postgres considered an equivalent? Because it wasn't on the list otherwise. And have you included Postgres, basically?
That's a good question, actually. I think it's work, but I'm not done yet. But yeah, definitely I'm gonna take it forward, that one. Yeah, we'll discuss that. Thank you for asking that. Really appreciate it.
No worries. If it's included, which it may be.
Totally agreeing it. Totally agreeing it. We'll be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh.
Hello.
I do know there were some issues that some stuff way back wasn't working with Postgres. And I thought it was all fixed. And it could just be an anomaly that it's not up there. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Takim. I'm working in a digitalist group from Sweden. I have two questions.
Yeah, please.
First one is that I have a D7 site where I have content in the taxonomies, like taxonomy with different fields. And in D8, hello?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Yeah. I have a D7 site where I have a taxonomy with a lot of fields. And in D8, I move it to content type with fields. Can I migrate the taxonomies into the content types in D7, D7 to D8?
Repeat me once again, please.
I have a taxonomy with a lot of fields in the D7.
Yep.
But the same thing I have in D8, but as a content type.
You already create the two systems. Yeah. Then you need this data from there to there. Okay. So better you get it in a CSV file and do it. But otherwise, you need to incremental migration. That can cause little problem for you. Yeah. But it's better you can have it in a CSV file, and you can. I'm gonna show that how to migrate a CSV file to D8.
So in the CSV plugin, I will map it with the fields which I want.
I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Give me a minute. So I'm going to demo this, what we told, the process plugin, as well as the how to create a migrated data from CSV. So this is a fresh Drupal 8 site. You need to go and install Migrate Module, and you need Migrate Plus, and you need Migrate Source CSV and Migrate Tools. So once you install these modules, you install this module. Yeah, I am having a let's do this. I have a CSV file. What is my, this is a CSV file. Can you guys see it? How to make it bigger in area? Sorry. This, anyone know how to make it bigger? It's not work. Please come. No. Okay. Anyway, this is the. If you can, it's not working. OK, no problem. This is a pretty straightforward CSV file, which I showed you in the plugin, I think. This is the first block. That same CSV file, I'm keeping it there. And I have a YML file. This is my YML file. Once you install this module, you need to go here in the configuration, and you need to go to the configurations. You need to import it, single import. Group is migration. You're going to say, see, you can see before, is there any? There is no users present now. We have the users already in the CSV file. I kept that in a CSV folder here and checking the absolute path. And this is my YML file presenting here. And this is my absolute path. And you can see the path I'm giving it. This is my absolute path for the CSV file I've done. And in the CSV file, there is a columns called name, email, roles, same as I'm mapping with the core fields in the people field. And I added I need to add the first name and last name. Then I need to add the last name. Then one more field I need to add, that is the full name. So I made sure that those fields are added, and we need to import this CSV file, the same CSV file like this. Just one click import. And then you go to the terminal, just type migration status, MS, Drush MS. You can see one CSV unprocessed. Yeah, correct, right?
It didn't work.
Yeah. No, I didn't import it actually. You can see this. I'm going to import it. So I'm going to import it now. It's not imported now. I'm just checking the migration status. You can see the file ID is called CSV. The same ID you given here, CSV, that is the ID you're getting hit here, group. In the group CSV, then you say there is a ID list, status is ideal. There is a 3 rows of data are there, and it's not imported, it's not unprocessed. So I'm going to use Drush MI, that is called Drush Migration Import. So 3 files are created, and you can see See, 3 files are created, 3 users are created. This is how it is. I mean, like, if you want to roll back, so you got some mistakes. Suppose, like, You found the dummy username. There is no first name, last name. So you're going to roll back. Yeah. Okay.
It's not working.
It's not working. Sorry for that. No, it's not working. It's not working. Sorry. So if you want to roll back, you created those 3 files. You found some mistake. You can roll back through same ID you can give. It's rollback. So when you go here, it's rollback. So it's easy to do the migration content and to and fro till when you're getting updated. So any questions? Yeah.
So I saw that you are using Drush to migrate. I was following the official documentation. It was saying to use Composer to install Drush, and it was installing the 9 version, but the first command fails because it wants the 8 version. So which version of Drush is recommended to make the migration?
Which version of Drush to use?
Which version of Drush you use?
Yeah.
Drush 8 plus. Drush 8, above Drush 8 it works.
But not Drush 9?
Drush 9 also works. Mine is Drush 9.
I use Drush 9.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
It's a Drush 9. You can see that it's a Drush 9.
And
there's a really interesting page somewhere about Drush and what version it works for. It must be in the Drush docs somewhere, which might answer your question, and it's a really clear description of which one to use.
Okay.
And just for the recording, with the gentleman, okay, the gentleman's going to use the microphone.
You can.
With installing Drush via Composer, it all depends on where you've installed Drush. If you've got Drush 8 in global, and then you've installed Drush 9 in your project, in your local project, then it all depends on which one is running, and there can be some conflicts between what's in your vendor stuff and what's in your global and which you're running. So you've got to make sure that those two are aligned.
Yeah. So I have 2 Drush running on my system, which is, let me see. You can see this is my D8 Drush, Drush version 8. So I got this conflict sometimes. So because I need a Drupal 7, so Drush 9 won't work with the Drupal 7. So I installed this separately and created an alias for this Drush 8 and using this is my Drush 8. Yeah, if you can see, run this, it will still work. See, still is created. So both.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
About migrating modules. So it is recommended in the documentation to install all modules that you have in the Drupal 7 site on the Drupal 8 before the migration. So you go via all this process, let's say, and eventually there is no more migration path. So there is no added value into that if the modules do not have a migration path. So is there a way to know that beforehand if the module has a migration somehow? So you save the time of installing everything.
What is the question?
So the question is about determining beforehand, before you enter in all the data and waiting for it to decide what's available, is to know what modules have an upgrade path, a migration upgrade path. The answer is that anything that's in core, any modules that have moved into core does have one, or it's in the process, has some bugs. If it's not, you actually have to go and look at the module itself. Look at their own documentation. It's their responsibility to do it. And I can say that address field does have one. So I looked, and therefore I knew. So if you have a lot of modules, that could be difficult. It might be easier to let the UI do it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My question's related to that, because you rightly pointed out that if it's a contrib module, then it's the responsibility of the contrib people to deal with it. But what happens if it's contrib in D7 and it's core in D8? And obviously the biggest one here is views. Is there any process, even if it's an import rather than a migration, for views?
Okay, there's two parts in that. The first part is that if it was a contrib module in D7 and it's core in D8, because it's core in D8, it has a migration path, except for views.
Okay.
Views is unique and challenging,
yeah.
and it is documented in the known issues that it's just way too difficult.
You just have to rebuild them in D8 from scratch.
Yes, and the general consensus, if I remember the discussion correctly with the other core migrators, was generally you'd want to do that anyway, because so much other things have changed and you might want to improve things.
Yeah.
And at least, and the views, it has a UI, so it's accessible. You don't need a developer to do it.
Yeah, please.
Hi, so my question is about a specific use case where you have a Drupal 7 site which is being used, and you have a Drupal 8 site on the side where you would like to have the same content flowing into, so it's kind of a rolling thing. My question is, do you think Migrate is the right tool to use in that case, or is there any other possibilities that would work better, in your opinion?
Can you, once again?
Sure. So, you have two sites. One is the
Close
Drupal
to the mic, please.
Yeah. Sorry. Two sites. One is the Drupal 7 site that
Yeah.
people are using and adding content to all the time.
Yeah.
And then you have this Drupal 8 site, which is basically on the side, where you would like to have the same content flowing into, you know, on a rolling basis.
You can do it with the web service all the time. Do with the web service.
Okay.
REST service. I mean, you can do the same thing because you wanted to in 8 as well as in 7, right?
Sorry, I'm having a bit of a hard time.
Maybe we can talk a little more in the background.
All right.
Thank you all. It's a time for us to stop. Hope all you got informative. And please review our sessions in Drupal.org. Put a comment on there, rate it, and what are the things you looking forward it. And we put the slides as well as the documentation with the GitHub notes. You need to, we'll introduce you how to do it. All the documentation will be uploaded in this week itself. Yeah, please comment anything on us. Find us in Drupal.org, Twitter, or put the comments there. Please put the comments there about our sessions. Thank you all. Hope you all will migrate to Drupal 8 soon. Yeah. Have a good DrupalCon. Thank you. If you don't mind, we can have a selfie. All of us can have a selfie. Yeah.
Yes, come on. Come on. Where do you want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.